welcome back to the second part of this session. We've all had a nice quick break and are ready to get into more story focused stuff again after that intense last bit where we just finished off with Death's last defense just disappearing off into the wilderness, apparently carried by some sort of maybe a wolf or some similar creature. So we are going to start with everyone slowly making their way back through the woodland, and you may RP as you do so. Whoever wants to start.
Jorasos probably looks like he's coming down off of his rage, like someone might come down off of a high. Heavy breathing and a lot of exhaustion and muscle aches.
Yep.
You can definitely feel where the bite got you in the back.
Well, what now?
I think we should go back to the tavern and regroup. Make plans.
So we lost the tracks, right?
Yep, you completely lost.
Yeah. That's why.
Well, there's still those
I
other
was-
tracks over there, I suppose. We might be able to glean something from them. Like where we saw the drag marks outside.
I'll help you look.
Alright.
So, where are they about this area?
Sorry.
I think they're down here-ish.
Yep, so he's had various there are a couple of different sets of drag marks. Some of them seem to lead north, some of them led down to somewhere around here, which is where you were investigating last time, before the wolves interrupted.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
I'll help you investigate it there,
Okay.
Angel.
Okay.
So you want to investigate the sort of area down here where the
Yeah.
drag marks were? Okay. Yeah, you may do so.
Okay, I got a 9 total, but I guess with Callie's helping, I get advantage.
Yeah, you get advantage.
Just as well. Oh my god. 9 total, then 8 total.
Guess it's a 9.
You go to lean in and you catch yourself on some nettles, and that completely distracts you from what you're trying to do.
Ow. This darn nets are... It's beautiful but painful.
Being a ranger, you know how to quickly sort of soothe the area.
Mm-hmm.
Jorasos, or Callie, is there anything that you'd wish to do?
Do you think it's possible these wolves were trained?
It's not unheard of. Could have happened.
It is very possible.
That's the question. Then obviously the next question is who trained them and why.
If they're carrying people off like this, it can't be for any good.
Yeah.
But then, evidently, it's basically doing someone's hard graft for them, and then they take them the rest of the way.
That's another idea.
It's smart. Get the wolves to do it far out of town while you take care of it in town.
I don't know about you, but I need to rest a little bit. Recover from that fight.
I mean, you've got the empty house there, or it's a, what was it, 2-hour trek, I think, back to town.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do any
what-
more investigating around here, or do we not know where to go?
Can we have an estimated time of what it is by us looking at the sky or whatever?
So you got there at about 4 o'clock. You spent about 15 minutes or 20 minutes looking around the house, I'd probably say. About 20 past 4, it did about 15 minutes going into the woods, so that'll be about 15 minutes back. So probably about 5 p.m. I think.
I basically say
That's very quick maths.
I don't think it would be safe to stay in the house here. We should go back to the inn. I don't want another one of us captured in the night doing a bots.
In fact, why on earth am I doing
True.
it that way?
Right there,
I'm an idiot.
doors.
I'm a complete idiot. I actually made a separate document with timelines on it. So I knew where he'd be.
Well,
The adventure timeline.
if that is...
Oh, sorry. It would be about 3 or half past 3, I think.
Yeah,
we could
my
take
point
just a
remains-
short rest here and investigate a bit more. Maybe find some clues. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say, do you sort of spend your time searching outside or inside?
Well, I think outside's gonna give us more hints. If
We've
we're gonna...
already pretty much
you just-
searched inside.
Yeah, so you sort of spend a little bit of time just sort of wandering around, not doing anything too energetic. It's just sort of very casual sort of. Because you think you've
It's
got rid
like-
of all the threats, so you just have a very casual, just sort of walk around.
Take a bit of a short rest maybe then too.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have a chance for a short rest. Just like you're not doing anything too strenuous, so you probably have
Right.
a few minutes sat down, just
Helpful for me.
bandaging or doing things like that, taking on some water and stuff. Yeah. So I'd say probably if you spend like the hour doing a little bit of searching as well, trying to follow the tracks a little bit. Yeah, so eventually you do sort of, as you're wandering around, you end up sort of go down a hill or a bit of an embankment so you can sort of see where the rough trail leads. Sort of up against one of the trees you can see the body of sort of a middle-aged man. Sort of a bit of a slight short beard, sort of like slightly messy hair, and yeah, you can see
That's not
some.
good.
You can definitely see some large jaw marks, sort of around his chest, and looks like he's been left there. Looking at the body, you spend a bit of time just looking around, and you can see that there's a distinct cut straight across the wrist. Just give me a quick nature check.
I will help
Angel?
Angel with that rather than making it myself.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's hope I roll better this time. 22 total, then 18 total, so 22.
Yep, looking at this, you can tell that this cut was made not by a wolf, but definitely it was human, and quite a sort of sharp knife made the cut.
Well, humanoid, I'm guessing.
Yeah, some sort of humanoid. You can't. I mean, it's a knife. It's something man-made. Sorry,
Okay.
my voice is going.
I pointed out. That is not a wolf mark.
Hmm.
And what was it again? You rolled 22.
Yes.
You're guessing that they've cut the wrist for a reason, because of maybe the arterial roots or stuff like that. But
If he was already bitten, why'd they need to cut his wrist? Or was that before he was bitten? Or
There is some kind of purpose to it. Perhaps to do with roots of a certain kind of character. I can't say exactly why, but I've heard it in some traditions.
Hmm.
Perhaps he cut himself to ensure that the wolves would not give him a gruesome fate.
Well, I don't see a knife around here.
you spend your time searching, you can't see any knife.
Well, I think he got cut by someone and then bit, or got bit and then cut. I don't know the details.
It's always possible that someone who tried to kidnap him took his knife.
Hmm. That would explain why his wrist was cut. Immobilizing, I guess.
Yeah, and by the wrist, I mean the inside of the wrist specifically.
Yeah.
Ah. So I would basically, I'd point that out and say it's very hard to stab your inside of your own wrist. Maybe the outside, yes, but you would have to be very flexible to manage that.
Or have two arms.
True. Would
Uh,
I? Is 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 he tied in any particular way?
He doesn't appear to be.
Ah,
Just-
okay.
just slumped up against it.
What were all? I guess you'd be able to work out. He hasn't just sort of slumped back against this. Maybe he's been placed there.
Hmm. Well, if that's the case, is there a blood trail on the ground?
There's a bit of blood on the trail that leads from the house. Leads from where the drag marks start. But you're not sure whether that was a wrist or from the chest injury. You're not sure.
Hmm.
Because you'd expect more blood to have dropped on the floor from some sort of cut, like you can see.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
From a cut on the wrist, just a general sort of just general medical knowledge that anyone would know. Having a big cut across the wrist, you'd expect more blood to have dropped on the floor.
Okay.
Someone's collecting blood? Weird.
It could be related to the one who captured us. She was
Yeah.
doing something with blood.
That's potentially a thing that could have influenced that. We should keep an eye out for that lady, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because was it nature or survival? It was a survival, wasn't it? Check. I think I said.
You said nature.
Was it nature?
Yes.
I guess all of you can make a. I'm trying to think what it would be. Survival or medicine, I think makes sense.
Well, I've got +2 in both, so no difference.
Yep.
Got +0 in both.
And I got 21 total as I rolled a
Oh.
19.
Got a 14.
Hmm.
Epic.
It's unlikely that he didn't have advantage there.
Mhm.
Josh,
Hmm.
did you wish to make a check or?
Which check was it?
Medicine or survival?
Yeah.
I'm actually good at those, so yeah, I'll try and make this one.
Okay.
Well, poopy.
Doesn't mean you don't know anything. Jorasos and Callie, you
Mhm.
can kind of guess he's been dead for quite some time.
Yeah.
Aingeal, with that very good roll,
Yes.
you reckon that he's probably been dead for a similar amount of time to when the house was abandoned.
Ooh, interesting.
Just looking at the way that there's a little bit of decomposition and stuff like that.
I passed that on. Okay. I think he's been dead for as long as the house has been abandoned. Maybe same day he was trying to escape, got caught.
That would make sense.
Possibly one of the inhabitants of the house. Maybe the father.
Perhaps.
Well, I don't really know.
I mean, you were made aware that it was a family that lived there, so it would probably make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, we worked it out.
Also, with it being a good roll as well, yeah, it's the sort of age would make sort of sense,
Yeah.
given what you
Okay.
saw in the house and stuff.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
there's nothing else around here. We probably should be headed back.
So that's probably about +4. It probably was about 20 minutes down that hill before we're on track. It's probably getting to. You get back to the house just before 5, I'd say, roughly. Do you wish to make your way back to the town, or?
Think so.
Standing here and speculating will get us nowhere. We should probably get back and report what we've found.
It's also a bit of an all-day trip to the other one, if I remember correctly. Don't want to get stuck out in the woods.
Very
You
well.
remember being told that it was about 4 hours to the other place.
Yeah, it's a long way.
I mean, if you look on the
Map.
did I post the map? I think I
Yeah.
posted the map.
In the world information?
Yeah.
No regional information. No maps.
Maps. Put it in maps. So you can see where the rough locations are. So about 2 hours back to there. This is only a rough map. So if the timescales on the map don't quite make sense, that's why. Yeah, that's what you see anyway. That's all you've managed to view there. Yep, so nothing eventful happens on the way back. You're able to walk back. You're probably looking around quite a bit, just due to the previous events that have taken place in regards to the wolves.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a bit more vigilant. Yeah, you probably get back to town. It's about 2 hours back, so probably about 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock. I think makes sense. Yeah, you arrive back again. The gates are closed, but the guards recognise who you are this time. They just ask you to call out your names,
Mm-hmm.
and then they open the gates to let you in. What would you like to do once you get back inside?
Probably go see Harrison and be like, "This is what we found. It's not good."
Okay,
Mhm.
so yep, you
Yeah.
make your way to Harrison. I imagine that the sort of prison part would probably be locked at this time. So you go to the adjoining house because you can see there's life in there. You knock on the door, and yeah, it comes up to the door. Can anyone remember what his voice was last time? So I
No
forgot.
idea.
You're supposed to know these things.
I should. I forgot. I came up with it on the spot last time.
Just talking regular, I guess.
I think it was a bit smoother. I think it was a bit more like this.
Very well.
Why, hello. Yes. You went off to search for the Glinrans, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's accurate. Unfortunately, we didn't find most of them. And the ones we did find were not in exactly living shape.
That is what I feared, given that they hadn't sent any communications back.
We
Hmm.
found what we presumed to be the father. He didn't make it. No sign of the others, though. The father, older man, had a cut on the inside of his wrist, very deliberate.
Oh, how strange. Must be... Sounds like some sort of deliberate attack. Please come in. Come in. Have a sit down. Basically
may
invites him
also-
inside his house.
I basically say, you may also notice that our bird friend is missing.
Is he a victim too? No?
Sounds like it.
It would seem so. We were attacked by wolves, but they did not behave as typical animals. I think they were trained.
Oh, yeah.
One of them grabbed last and dragged him off into the bushes. We were unable to follow through the undergrowth.
Oh, I see. Wolves are a constant issue around here and have been for many a year. I'd be surprised if... Did he say that he had bite marks on the father or not?
No, we didn't.
I didn't say that. Okay.
Oh, you did say it.
I said it to you as
Mhm.
players, but you haven't said it to him in character yet.
Nope.
No.
Well, wolves are always an issue around here. I should have made you more aware of the fact that there are many wolves around here.
Yeah, the body had a bite mark on it too.
Strange. I thought the Gwynnrans would understand how to deal with wolves. They spend their whole time in the woods up there. That's a bit of a surprise that
I seem to
wolves would have
have
got
left the house in a hurry.
sounds strange indeed. Did you say, were there any other signs in there? In the house?
From what we can tell in our investigation, it just looked like they left in a hurry. Dinner was still on the table and everything.
Right in the middle of dinner, they just got up and ran.
I don't know what would make them run away like that. I mean, at least the father and a couple of them have were decent at fighting. Having to work out in the woods, you need to know how to take care of yourself.
It definitely seems as though the father may have gone down fighting.
I would not be surprised. I don't think he would let himself just be taken away.
Mm.
Which of the others was also good at fighting? We didn't find any sign of their bodies or anything, so they may still live.
Well, the son was definitely learning. He must have been early 20s. So, good, strong fighter. The second son as well. A bit younger, probably about 16, 17, but was learning how to be able to at least take care of themselves.
Hmm. Well, I find it odd, but I think we can at least ascertain a goal from our pool here, or or whatever he is. Suspect? No, not suspect. Villain? Is that the right word?
You've completely lost me.
I'm like, we can ascertain the motivation of our criminal here. I'm just trying to think of a good way to phrase that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If he even is involved.
Well, judging by the cut on the wrist, and whatnot, I theorize that maybe they want blood for some reason, and since the father was mortally wounded, they got as much as they could before they left. Which makes me concerned about the other people that were taken.
Call it a hunch, but I might have an idea. Let me speak to the accused.
You wish to speak now?
If possible.
I can certainly let you in. He'll grab this ring of keys again, and walks out of the house and into the prison. Sorry, my brain was forgetting what word to use there. Walks in, unlocks the prison and lets you inside. Is it just Jorasos that would go in?
I'll go too.
You go to as well. Okay,
Outside.
so you all walk in. You can see I've definitely not forgotten his name.
Violaire.
That's the one. See, Bailey, just laid out on the bed. Not asleep, but just looking a bit bored.
You there, Violaire, was it?
Yes, who? Oh, it's you again.
You mind telling us your connection to the satyr woman?
What satyr woman?
I want to insight check that.
Yep, you may roll insight. He's truthful. Definitely truthful.
Can I help Jorasos inside this?
God damn it.
You can.
Okay, do it ahead of advantage,
Yeah,
Jorasos.
roll again, Josh.
Yay! Advantage!
Oh. Hey!
Hey! Holy balls, a natural 20!
Single support has done you excellence.
You can see that he's keeping this front up, but he's definitely nervous about stuff. But you don't think he's been nervous about the events that are going on. You think he's just nervous of Jorasos. And looking at his body language, he's not like looking up to the corner of his eye or anything like that. You don't think he's lying to you. You think he is being truthful.
Jorasos turns and folds his arms. He's not involved.
Well, yeah, we figured as much. If people have been going missing after he'd been captured, that makes sense.
You just hear him say, "I told you. Please will you at least let me out of this place?" The Arison goes, "I cannot let you leave. You may. The people of the town may still want to hurt you for... It would take some convincing of them. I fear that we need to resolve this situation first before we can go any further."
If I may be so bold, allow him to go free so long as he comes under our jurisdiction. Allow him to prove his own innocence. If he makes a wrong move, I won't hesitate to bisect him.
Give me a...
That's a bit extreme if we know he's innocent.
Give me a
Or at least heavily
persuasion.
suspect.
Give me a persuasion check, Josh.
Oh, good. Persuasion.
I think
Yeah, this is gonna go well.
with advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah. I
Might
said that
need
before it rolled.
Might
You can
need
take that. You can take that sarcastic comment as a bardic inspiration.
Well,
So-
the 11 is the highest roll.
You can have some inspiration if you want.
What does the inspiration do?
Extra d6 on that if you want.
Yeah, I think I'm
You might as
gonna
well add it.
take that. See, D6.
Add an
Roll.
ideas to DC.
Oh, that's a 5. Well, that's a 16 then.
Not my DC was. My DC was a 16.
Oh, convenient.
That was
Was genuinely the DC. I couldn't remember if it was up or above, below or above. I can word. Above or below. Those are the words I was going for. On DCs. You see him think for a second and then go. The problem is you are also new into the town. I cannot let him go. Because then I may be suspect as well. They may start suspecting me as to be doing something. If you can get enough evidence together, then I may release him into your care. If the matter is not resolved first.
Good enough.
very well. Sorry, I tried.
You see Arison look across to the wizard and say, I do not trust the citizens not to hurt you. This is why I need to keep you here for your safety. Is that everything that you wished to do with the wizard? The wonderful Wizard of Oz?
Wait, us? I thought it was the wonderful wizard of Little Rossington.
Haha! No, it's not. Yeah, unless there's anything else you wish to say to... God, I keep forgetting the wizard's name. Byle, or whatever it is. I keep forgetting his name. Yeah. I take it
I
that was
don't
everything.
believe there was anything else. I have what I need. I believe him to be innocent.
Okay. So, yeah. Ushered back out of the prison.
Yes.
Harrison locks it up and just looks at you to see if there's anything else that you wish to ask him or tell him.
I got nothing. I'm basically just... It's a... elf. The wizard's an elf, right?
Yeah, the wizard is a high elf. Harrison is a half elf.
Okay. Cool. I would have said something in Elvis, but as I know that my character's got hold back.
Yeah. You would have a good
I
guess that Harrison would also be able to understand you.
Yeah, I basically say... stay safe. To both Erison and the High Elf.
Okay.
In common.
Yeah, okay. Where do you wish to go next?
Probably just the inn, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say
Yeah.
probably about 7, 7:15 maybe, in the evening. You can see that, like, the tavern seems quite busy with various people. Sort of regular village people, and like not the village people, but
YMCA.
it's a disco
Getting
night. No,
busy.
it's not.
I'd probably offer Trim my help, as Callie does know her way around this type of thing.
She probably starts trying to like show you the ropes, but realizes that you actually know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Is quite thankful of some help.
Yep.
If you...
What we'll do
I
is-
basically say...
Go on.
If you need, I can help take the food and drinks to his table. I'm not exactly much of a chef or drink server, but I can help any
No,
way I can.
don't worry yourself. Have a sit down. I've forgotten what
Very
the
well.
accent I was going for there.
Yeah, just have a bit of a relax.
What was your name, my dear? She looks to you, Callie.
Callie.
Ah, Callie. It's not often we see many halflings around here. And we
Yeah.
get the occasional one come through for trade purposes.
It's nice to see a friendly face.
Should probably get gone.
You know, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say she'd probably start asking you to do certain things like while she's doing other things. So, like if she's doing food, she'll probably say, "Can you take care of the bar?" Basically.
Yep, no problem. Callie will happily oblige.
I'm trying to think. Would you get any pay from doing this?
She isn't asking for any necessarily.
No.
Just kind of to enjoy herself.
I'd say that Trim would probably, at the end of the night, So I'll only do this once it gets to the end of the night. So,
Mhm.
Jorasos, is there anything that you would like to do when I can say things?
He'd probably find a quiet spot, sit down and think while he treats his wound, his bite wound.
Would you just sit by yourself, or would you sit with Aingeal?
He'd probably sit by himself, and the others can make an insight check.
Yep, everyone.
Right?
The other
I was
two
gonna
can-
say I'll probably keep an eye on you or something, but okay. Jesus, guys, stop rolling well. Not I'm complaining. Dirty 20.
Wow. Callie, I'd say that you could do it, but probably at disadvantage because you're kind of doing drinks at the same time.
What am I making again? Sorry.
Insight on
Okay.
Jorasos.
Just in general.
Just a general insight.
Oh. Well, it would have been good without the disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh dear. Yeah, you're too busy with the drinks, and you're not able to watch out for exactly what Jorasos is doing and stuff.
Mhm. Makes sense.
Yeah, Jorasos, Josh, you can say what Jorasos is feeling like to Aingeal or things like that.
Yeah, you can judge just by looking at him that he and Shroud were probably a lot closer than you might have guessed before. They may have been traveling together for a long time, and Jorasos probably saw something in him, or at least thought of him as a friend, something like that.
Okay. I basically. So I would see you upset, right? Right.
Yeah,
Or, yeah.
he's
I
very unhappy.
I put my arm on one of your shoulders and say, "We're going to get your friend back. You have my word."
I do hope you're right. Damn fool. What was he doing? Just standing there.
It gets worse that he even ignored my advice. I told him I heard rustling. He didn't want to listen to me.
I don't think I've ever seen him deep in his thoughts like that.
Hmm. It was such a troubling time as well. Very peculiar. Do you think someone or something altered his way of thinking?
I'm definitely not going to discount it as a possibility. Speculation won't get us anywhere, though. We should rest, try and continue our investigation tomorrow.
I agree.
Out of two possibilities, he's either the wolf's dinner, or he's been taken by whoever trained them, and they're connected with whatever happened with us and our caravan.
I think the latter, if I was to guess. But yeah, like you say, speculation will get us nowhere.
We never had anything like this in my homeland.
Hmm. My homeland certainly had its problems, but nothing like this as well. Even though my homeland is close to here.
I don't even think I know where here is.
True, actually.
Would my character be able to describe this kind of region?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to RP it necessarily, but yeah, you'd probably, over a bit of time, like just chatting. Jorasos, you get the understanding of you're in what is basically a country, if we're looking at out of character terms, that is the Aingeal Alliance. And it's made up of multiple like smaller kingdoms in inverted brackets. Yeah. And it sort of stretches from the west coast inland.
So these kingdom, are they like prides? Sorry, you would probably call them something like clans or some such.
Would my character know about that? Like, she would
Just-
know about her
if we're
own
talking about-
talon.
If we're talking out of character terms, think of it almost in a UK or Europe sense kind of thing. So
Okay,
have,
so
like,
they're like
cent-
all miniature nations to
Yeah,
make
you have
one.
yeah, you have like, because like where your place was is in one particular region, then like to the north you'd have another region, then further inland you'd have another, then there'd be another one as well.
And
The-
my character would know that.
They're all very similar in culture and everything like that. You wouldn't know you might not necessarily know the names of the different things, but you'd have an understanding that there's like the main leader and then there's a couple of like sub leaders and stuff.
Alright, so I'll basically say that. Well, they're kind of like regions to make a country, I guess. There is a main leader, and there's a few sub-leaders in each individual area, I guess, is the best way I could describe it without going into too much detail.
And you know that Langford is the main capital.
Yeah. And, well, would Jorasos know that's where the caravan was originally heading to?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
I made plans with
That
Josh
makes
for
sense.
things that reasons he were going that way.
Okay. I'll basically say, and of course, as you know, Langford is the capital of this area.
Okay, so
There are similarities, horoscopes, but many differences as well.
yeah, so that would be that conversation that's probably just gone on for most of the night. Jorasos isn't necessarily the most clever individual.
Yeah, that's why Aingeal is trying to basically shorten it out, say
Yeah.
as simple as possible.
Imagine you start going off a little bit on a tangent about something and go, oh no, I can't say about that because that's complicated.
Yes.
And have to keep reining yourself back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as the evening goes on, various people, it still gets quieter at in the tavern. Various people go upstairs to rooms, and then some also go out the front door and seem to head to the houses. Probably empties out at about 10 p.m. probably almost empty at that point. Just leaving Callie at the bar and you two sat in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
At the end, as it gets quieter.
Well, that's been fun. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, Chim would have come over and gone, "Oh, you did such a wonderful job, dear. For all that trouble, I shall. Let's see what I can scrape together." She gives you 5 gold.
Oh, much appreciated.
It's the least I can do. An extra hand is very useful. It's not normally this busy. I've completely lost the accent now.
All right. Most appreciated.
So you may add 5 gold.
Yeah, I've done that.
Cool. Yeah, she probably starts like clearing everything up. Yeah, does Trim. Like insists that you go and speak with your friends and stuff.
I'll head on back over. Well, what's the plan for tomorrow then?
I'd also like to know the plan.
Do we try the bait plan again, or go and investigate this other farmstead?
Somehow I don't think the bait plan's going to be very effective.
Particularly when we've realized that the people get captured when they're not exactly looking. If we were to wait, we would have to be like turned away, perhaps facing a building. But even then, that is a stretch.
Well, I think going for the other one makes sense.
So, what is the plan for the next day?
I think we're just gonna, probably go to the farm, because that's the only lead we have right now.
Yep,
Hopefully find something there.
Yeah. So what time would you say you went to bed? How much longer? Also, probably knock. Actually, no, she wouldn't have done that because you were helping out behind the bar. She wouldn't have charged you for the drinks and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, she wouldn't. I was just thinking about that actually, because of Callie helping out behind the bar, she might not have. I'm on about Trim. Probably wouldn't have charged you for the drinks, because she knows that you're helping out with the things that are going on in the town.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 11 PM you go to bed, something like that.
Yeah.
Again, for Callie, you go to bed, but there's still that thing from earlier in the day where you had that thing about the fire. You go to bed and that's all you can. You're just thinking about it. It's just in the back of your mind.
Yep. Probably not easily going to sleep or anything.
Does it interfere in your sleep at all?
Yeah, probably a bit.
Because if it does, like, my character only needs 4 hours of meditation, so probably wakes up at like 3 a.m. I can probably see you agitated, so I try to comfort you.
Oh. Yeah, Callie would accept that probably.
It was probably just the small things of like when you go and sped, it was just like the thing of, oh, should I leave that candle there, or should I turn it up?
Yeah, something like that.
It's just little things like that. Yeah. With Angel making sure that you're fine, you're able to get to have your rest. And it's probably about 6 or 7 a.m. the next morning when you wake up.
That'd be like 4 hours sleep for Callie, because I'm only doing it when I wake back up, which is at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you're sort of sleeping on and off, so it's not.
Yeah,
You probably would get
familiar.
overall 6 hours of sleep, but it's like you'd be asleep and then it'd suddenly dawn on you. Was that a flicker of flame, or was it just someone walking past with a torch and stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay.
So you'd still probably
It's-
get your full rest, just not as comfortable.
Yep.
Maybe you feel just a little bit tired or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You know that you've got a long walk as well the next morning.
Oh, long walk on short legs.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always piggyback with Jorasos.
That is an option. She wouldn't like ask, but if it was offered, she'd probably accept at some point.
I mean, I assume Callie's pretty light, so Aingeal could probably do it too, but not
She
as well.
is. She is about 40 pounds, as she
Yeah.
is a halfling.
Yeah,
I need to
Jorasos
translate
would
that.
probably pick her up effortlessly.
Yeah, 3 fingers.
Probably closer to 60 or 70 with all her gear.
Yeah, Jorasos could still effortlessly
Yeah,
pick
pretty much.
20 kilos. With the Gabe, probably about 25 kilos maybe.
Yep.
I mean, it's up to Jorasos if he picks up on it as well.
Yeah, like if she's genuinely struggling at some point, like he wouldn't even ask. He would just be like, scooped up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean,
She wouldn't complain.
okay. So yeah, you make your way, unless you want to stop by anywhere, you make your way out of the town. Nope, take it now. Yeah, so you walk out of town and you start heading to west along the road that you've been along before, the initial road that you took into Little Rossington. You pass by the turning that you would go up towards the Glynderen farm, lumber area, and eventually you find a small fork in the road, like a less maintained pathway. It's quite sort of rutted and like muddy and stuff like that. And yeah, it's quite sort of a tiring journey as well, because you have to go up into sort of the hills along the other side of the valley and stuff like that. You have to go up and down several times. The route seems to twist around quite a bit. At certain points you're almost wondering which way's north. Just because of the way that it has to snake around all the hills. But eventually you come out of sort of the hill and you'll cover this large sort of expanse of farmland. It's a lot of like it's mainly sort of wheat or grains, things like that. It's late August, so most of it is in full sort of ready to be harvested. You can see that some harvesting has taken place already, but other bits are still sort of just fully grown. Make me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
These are fun.
$18 total, 14 plus 4.
18 as well.
Oh,
See,
Jorasos, you don't see anything. Sunlight's very bright. So Callie and Aingeal, looking out, you can see it's very empty. The fields that you'd expect to see maybe farmhands, or especially at this time of year, Aingeal, you'd expect people to be, like the family to be working the farm, working the fields, cutting down the crops, but it's empty. Look around, you can't see any sort of obvious, like, not crop circles, but sort of like areas where crop has been knocked over, things like that, from this distance. Looking at the farm, you've got sort of a main farm building, so large house with like a wraparound veranda. I think sort of like classic American big farmhouse type area. There's a couple of like grain silos. There's a large barn as well that you can see. You'd notice that the barn doors look to be shut and seem to be locked. Yeah, you can't, from the distance that you're at, you can't really see too much. You can see the rough layout of the farm and the farmland, really. You should make your way nearer.
Yeah, should probably check that out.
I would take it you're wishing to go towards the farmhouse.
Yeah, we'll go towards that first, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you go nearer, I'm going to keep the same perception check, so it'll make a reroll.
Yeah.
You do definitely notice disturbance. From a distance, you can see that, like, there's a couple of the things on a couple of the, like, the wooden banister posts around the veranda seem to have broken. You don't think it's from regular wear. As you sort of, the way the path takes is you go below the level of the house, and then you sort of have to go up a bit of a hill to get to it. As you come over the brow of the hill, you can see the body of a man just lying face down in the dirt.
Oh. There's part 2.
Well, that is on a miss.
I expected as much.
Oh, we probably should investigate that first.
Oh, sorry, no, that wouldn't be there. I'll just.
Okay.
I got me things mixed up in my head. You see crossbow bolts, sort of. You see some crossbow bolts into the wood and into the doorway, but you can also see some that have been fired the other way and have hit the ground. some sort of clear sign of battle.
Hmm. Well, suppose we should go looking, see what's up.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sign of movement from what you can tell so far.
Yeah, I'll kind of approach the house then.
Yeah. As you approach the house, yeah, there's not really any movement or anything.
All right.
So, do you make your way to the door, or do you just...
Yeah.
So you
We're
make it-
investigating, so might as well get
Yep.
started.
Give me an investigation check. I'm having struggle getting my words out now.
About that's a 6.
6.
That's an 11 total. 6 plus 5.
Sorry, there's an annoying fly.
There was a fly on the screen.
Flying around my head.
Now you know how I feel most of the time.
Anyway. Josh, did you wish to make any checks or anything?
Could I make a survival check?
Yeah, you can make me a survival check.
18!
18.
Ooh.
Okay, so you definitely see some definite signs of like someone had run through here. Seems to be running through here quite quickly. You can see a little bit of blood that has dropped onto the floor as well. Then you see there's a definite trail of blood.
Okay,
That
I want
leads-
to follow that trail of blood,
Yeah.
please.
It leads into the house. Maybe as you get, especially with that sort of check, as you get nearer to the house, you can see the footsteps seem to get a little bit erratic. They seem to sort of swerve left and right a little bit. Yeah. As you make your way into the house, you can...
Looks like whoever was attacked only just managed to live off of adrenaline for a little while longer.
Yeah, the door is sort of partially open. And whoever it is that opens it, I don't know which order you wish to go in.
I'll go in.
Probably.
Jorasos will
I mean,
shield
whoever
out
wants
front,
to.
sword in a defensive position facing outwards, and just nudge the door open with the shield.
As you nudge the door open, now you see the man's body, full of blood on the floor around him, and 2 crossbow bolts in the back.
Shot while running away.
You can see that.
Malacus cowards.
I mean, as you step in, you can see that there's looks like quite a heavy crossbow lent just behind the door as well. You can probably have a guess that he was trying to run to that. And yeah, that's the first thing you see when you enter the house.
Obviously, the first thing we should probably check is the wrist. See what's up with that.
Yeah, I mean, Oh, just keep the rolls just for this particular room. Jorasos, it's sort of you enter into sort of the kitchen area. You can see like I almost think sort of 30s decor in a sense, like rough wooden furnishings, like a small display cabinet and things like that, with like some pottery and stuff in it. And on the table you can see like what would have been fresh bread, but has now gone stale. And with that check, it's definitely been there for a good while. Everyone can make me a survival or nature check, I think.
Definitely survival for me.
Definitely nature for me.
Boy.
Ready?
So that for me is a 12 total.
Ready? Josh?
Did I just make it again? Should I just make it again?
make it
Get a
again, yeah.
natural one.
Saying. Yeah, I was just seeing if you could glean any extra from looking at it, but yeah, it's definitely been there a good while. Trying to work out maybe longer than the other family, maybe not. You're not quite sure. So you start looking around the rest of the house. So there's several rooms. There's like a living room. There's like there's like a pantry. Some sort of like more special sort of dining area. All sort of like furnished, not particularly posh. It's got like in the kitchen it's a stone flagged floor. Then like you go into the rest of the house and it's just sort of bare floorboards with sort of the occasional sort of slightly moth-eaten owl. Moth-eaten carpet or rug. God, my brain. There's no owls.
Woo.
Where did that come from? Yeah. Searching
Roll
around.
perception.
Search around. Just give me a quick perception. Just see how much you pick up.
Some point my null thing. I say perception, then you tell us to roll perception, so play my null.
Yeah. Also,
And that is a 24 with a natural 20. So yes,
yes.
I'm very perceptive.
Yeah. So looking around, there's not really any signs of like drag marks like you've seen elsewhere. Instead, you can just see like quite a few muddy footprints. They seem to have led in from, like maybe they've led in from the outside where you've come in, and then work the way back down. You can see a few that have gone up the staircase to the first floor as well.
Okay. I point out and say we should head upstairs.
All right, I'll follow.
Agreed.
You go upstairs. It leads into sort of a long landing. It seems to have rooms going off in both directions. Most of the doors seem to have been kicked open quite quickly. I can see a couple of the doors have slight cracks on the frames and stuff like that. Again, furnished similarly, not particularly wealthy. As you search around the rooms, you enter into one of the bedrooms. It's a double, but it's like a smaller double room. And
Okay.
there's a bit of a stunning sight on the bed. God. And you see the body of a woman. Sort of like a fairly plain summer dress that's like made up of like greens and whites. And you can just see a crimson mark straight down the back, like a single point of contact. Can everyone make a investigation check, please?
Okay,
Sure.
not my worst stat. Okay, that was a bad roll though.
Yes. Investigation. I got +5 in that. 17 total. 12
Okay.
plus 5.
Yeah, Jorasos?
Yay, -1. I'm waiting for this. Yeah, that's
4.
about expected.
At least it wasn't a 3.
First off, just picking up every random vase and looking into it.
I'm imagining that one of the two of you stop him.
Well,
Yeah,
probably Callie, because I'm probably deeply investigating this with a 17.
yeah. Careful.
Yeah, so you sort of imagine it's slightly disturbing as well, just the way it's been done. Looks like she's sort of been maybe taken by surprise from the back. You can sort of see a single stab wound sort of just to the left of her back. Guessing it's probably punctured straight into the heart. And
Yep.
a deep sort of crimson mark has been left in the dress at that point. You sort of gingerly look over, and yeah, she's been here a long time. Looking at other bodies, you're guessing over a week. Maybe even longer than the Glenrun lumber house.
Oh, so maybe 2 weeks or more.
Possibly. You're just looking at the fact that it's sort of, you can sort of see decomposition on the skin and stuff. You sort of investigate around her, and you sort of, she's face down on the bed, and you can see two distinct cuts. You can see another cut straight across the wrist, across both wrists, sorry. And yeah, looking around the room, you see that there's some sort of like beaker or something, and you can sort of see a little bit of sort of like a crimson colour in the bottom of it.
I would basically get the beaker and compare the color side by side with the crimson color on the lady's dress.
You think it's the same stuff.
Right.
How disturbed would the characters be over this?
Aingeal would be very disturbed.
Definitely uncomfortable, but trying to put on a front to act like
Yeah.
she's not.
It's like, yep, everything's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, he can quite. She looks like a fairly young one, maybe 19, 20, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's strange because it's with the role that you got for investigation, Angel. It looks like a very similar style cut to what you saw on the man the previous day.
I reconvened that. Look
Yep.
here. This cut was the same as that man we saw, or very similar to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're connected.
That makes sense. I wonder. This was maybe the first place? It could be the second.
Yes.
Who knows?
I basically say, I think the ones here have been here longer than the previous place investigating them. So I think this was the first place that was hit.
Yeah. Perhaps we should put them to rest, maybe?
Yep.
Where would you do that?
Probably not indoors.
There is something I'd like. I basically saw you the beaker and put it up against the lady's dress in your view.
Hmm.
Whoever this beaker belonged to perhaps did this, but I have no way of knowing.
Out of character, it goes without saying it's definitely blood in the beaker.
Yeah.
Like congealed.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe that means they were first trying whatever they were doing here and did the most sloppy job. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Is that everything? What is it you wanted to do
Yeah.
with the bodies?
Probably just go bury them. So they're not, just dead bodies in a house.
I basically say
I feel like that makes sense, right?
As you,
I turn to you, Callie, and say, it is really nice you're thinking of doing that, but we have no shovels.
This is true.
Perhaps we can
Oh,
look
you got-
for farming equipment that could
yeah.
help.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say you remember you're on a farm. I will say that as you go to pick up the body, it doesn't smell nice.
Yep.
As you
That's
start
what I
disturbing
figured.
it.
Can we do a constitution check to see how we feel about it?
I mean, if you want to.
Or something like it. Because my character doesn't respond well to... I think there's two things you said do a check for. With my character's smelling sense, and she got nat ones both times. Let's see if I can triple nat one on a specific roll. No, 15. So,
I'd say it's a
I
con
think I'm
save.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
con save rather than a con check.
Either way, 15.
You sort of
Because I
hold
got
it
plus
back.
0 on both.
it's more the thing of we have to do this. This is the right thing that gets you through it.
Yes.
Like, it's a bit horrible and like.
And could I like use my brewer supplies to whip up just something really smelly that might overpower the smell? Think that would be possible?
Yeah, I'd say you'd probably spend a little bit of time, probably like 10 minutes, just sort of trying to maybe garlic or maybe just something pungent. Doesn't necessarily have to smell nice in itself, but smell nicer than
something better than the bodies, though. Yeah.
Nicer than decay.
Yeah, and then we'll go about that.
Okay.
And I guess we'd probably head over to the barn during that. This is the entire building. We're not missing any rooms, right?
You went through the rooms, and it looks like when they got upstairs, this was like the first thing probably they found.
Yeah.
Like, first person they found on this place. And took her by surprise. You'd guess so with the fact that it's from the back, and maybe she was tidying the bed or something at the time. Just as a rough sort of guess. I probably guessed that she was like tidying the bed or something, and they've just taken her by complete surprise from the back. You would see that there's a slight contortion of pain in her face as well, now that you're sort of moving her.
Yep. Not the best. Definitely gonna have nightmares tonight.
Yeah,
Anyways.
It's not particularly pleasant.
Yep.
If Aingeal hears you say that, I basically say, I may have them too. Although, if I can sleep, I will comfort you again.
That'd be good.
I'll do what I can.
Okay, so you work your way back outside. It's like
Probably,
just like trying to lift it.
Yeah. I'll head back out that way to try to do that, yeah.
I think especially for Callie, it's quite awkward trying to...
Yeah, I'd imagine. She's very small.
Yeah.
It's like, Jorasos, help, please.
Jorasos has probably just been looking at a vase.
Yeah. Jorasos is investigating those vases. He's convinced. He's super convinced the vase did it.
I basically say, looking for gold, Jorasos?
He just sort of looks up like, huh. Well, no. Just trying to figure out why they got killed and not taken like the other family.
And what would the vases do to help? Aingeal's saying that very confused. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing?
Yeah, I mean... I assume Jorasos helps out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jorasos probably just... like, basically takes a body on his own.
Yeah.
You'll probably notice that you don't know if it's from the fact that she's been there for a long time or from blood loss, but she looks very pale. as well. It's the final thing I would add.
Okay.
Yeah, so you take her downstairs. What are you going to do with her?
Probably find a place to bury them, so you know it's not as horrible.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Imagine this being like a long time family farm. There's probably about half a mile or slightly longer away. There's a small small cemetery, like a small family cemetery or something like that.
Ah, okay. We'll probably take them there, look for a cart or something, maybe. 'Cause that's a bit of a intense walk otherwise.
Yeah, it's a farm. You're able to find some sort of cart.
All right, I guess this is what we're doing now.
We
The
trouble
rat-
pulling together.
I will say there are no horses.
Yeah.
You'll notice there's a distinct lack of horses around. Like, you would expect that because they've got carts, you'd expect there to be horses somewhere, but no horses. Yeah. Did you say you wanted to look for a what call it as well? A shovel of some sort?
Yeah, probably go to the barn at this point.
Yeah, you make your way over to the barn. It is locked, by the looks of it. But you think you probably can break the door or pick the lock, something like that.
Yeah. I'm kind of motion over to Jorasos. Like, you think you can help me with this?
Easily. Strength check.
Yeah, make me a strength check.
Okay. Also, it's almost 7, by the way.
Yeah. We'll just do this last bit, then I'll finish off.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, you make your way into the barn with one mighty shoulder barge. You sort of aim for where you think the weakest spot is, and it's sort of, you have to give it a couple of barges, but you manage to splinter enough of the wood that you can then lever your way inside. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It just looks just like it's been left for a few weeks, maybe a couple of weeks. Like, there's piles of hay and stuff, and you'd expect it to be fresh, but it doesn't look quite to be fresh. Like, you can feel the heat coming off it and stuff from where it seems to be not fermenting, what's the word? Like composting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're easily enough able to find like forks and trowels, spades. Like, there's quite a few around. The barn does appear to. Oh, the other thing that you notice in the barn is probably a couple of dead horses as well. Like, but clearly kept inside for like safety, but there's been no one around to feed them or anything. There's probably quite a few flies and things around that. And it looks like they've been there a while. You pick up some spades and then make your way out towards where the small cemetery is. Imagine Jorasos is the one that has to pull the cart.
Because I know I can't do it.
I mean, is he literally kind of like Spider-Maning, holding the two ends of it and pulling it along?
It's up to Josh how Jorasos will do it.
Yeah, I mean, Jorasos would probably pretty effortlessly just get the like he would grab the horse thing at the front, the two
Yeah.
poles. I don't know what the hell they're called. I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
He grabs those and like he would just pretty much almost effortlessly pull it along. I mean, unless the wheels are like they need like oiling or something.
I imagine it might need a little bit of oiling, but I imagine it's a good leg workout, especially after doing such a long walk to get there in the first place. It's definitely a good leg day workout. Right,
Should I make a con saving throw to see if I pull a hammy?
Just make a con saving throw just to see how tired your legs are after pulling this thing up, because it's a slight incline.
0 fucks given, apparently.
Is that a nat 20? Oh, 18. Yeah, you're feeling good. It's like you feel that burn in your legs, but it's just like you see it as a good workout opportunity. And
he's tightening them glutes up for the ladies.
Yeah, so you work your way up to what I call it, up to the cemetery, and you start digging. It probably takes a decent amount of time to do it. Like it won't be an instant.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
might probably should do.
I also imagine Jorasos is probably a little bit driven because of Death's Last Defense, though.
Yeah.
What
could you like make a specified roll, like D4 plus 1 hours or something?
Go on, let's do it. Also, out of curiosity, Josh, would Jorasos just like dig with his claws, or would he actually use a spade?
He would probably avoid digging with his claws just because it would dull them.
Yeah.
Digging with claws is like desperation mode.
Yeah. So it takes you 3 hours to dig the 2 graves and fill them back in overall. Right, just work out times in my head. So it's set off at 7. It's probably set off about 8. About noon when he got there. About half an hour searching around the house, moving the bodies. 12:30. It's taking another 3 hours, so about 3:30 in the afternoon at this point.
Would my character know the time or estimate it?
You'll be able to estimate it's afternoon. Like, just looking at the way that the sun is in the sky.
Basically propose we should head back, I think, to make it back in time for the evening. I don't trust here at night.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. There's also the other school of thought of this place has already been emptied. Why would anything need to return here?
But my character doesn't.
No, I'm just throwing the thought out there.
Know that. But yeah.
Well, we found everything out we need to here.
Yeah. Okay. And that's where I'm going to end the session for today.
All right.
You can decide between sessions what exactly you want to do next.
I forgot to ask something, actually, when my character was in the house. Could my character, like, take that beaker in the bag and use it as
you'd have to
evidence or something?
Yeah, you'd have to find some sort of lid to put on it. It looks like maybe they left in a rush and they didn't have a chance to put. Or maybe it wasn't full enough or something. So it looks like there's only a small, sort of like a small layer, maybe about 1/4 inch at the bottom of the beaker. So, yeah, I'll end the session there. You can definitely pick the beaker up.
All right.
So
I will be heading out.
yeah, cool. I'll end the session here. Hope everyone enjoyed watching that and working out what on earth this mystery is of the missing people.
Jorasos has definitely not found anything out.
No. Yeah, so until next time, goodbye.